at level 13. It's a possibility.
So
But
the draft has begun.
yes, it has.
And the first ban is going to be Falstad coming out of SMG.
Look at this. What are they planning? Falstad. Ban Stitches. Okay, so we do see the ban for Stitches coming out of Wildfire. No surprise there. Stitches is already really strong in this map. SMG has shown that they have very comfortable Stitches play, either on Soldier or Glaurung, or Dreadnought. You know what I mean? So there's so many people that can play Stitches there, and we do see a first pick of Tassadar coming out of SMG there. Tassadar has always been quite strong in this map, and it should be noted that since Tychus is gone, Archon does kind of fill the role a little bit of Odin. It's not the second health bar, but it is that large auto-attacking presence in the team fight that you need to be wary of. So, and also the extra vision, just so that you can know what kind of fight you're going into, especially with the narrow corridors on Cursed Hollow, and the extra range on Sidestorm. There's a lot of good reasons to pick up Tassadar, especially on this map. So no surprise there. And then we see a follow-up of Vala Brightwing. So this is forcing the hand, especially on the supports too. Supports are also in kind of a similar situation to warriors in the sense that there's really only 3 super viable supports to grab: Brightwing, Uther, and Malfurion. Yeah, Rhaegar.
The new Lily is.
Oh, that's true.
She's better, and she's definitely an option. So I would.
It's possible we'll see Lily today
because we're talking 2 to 4.
Yeah,
we're talking
you're right.
2
You're
to 4.
right. I didn't consider Lily. It's possible that we will see some Lily play today. That'd be pretty neat.
Rhaegar's not out of the question, and Bloodlust becomes potentially more viable with Thrall. I mean, I'd like to see like a Earthquake Bloodlust kind of style. It gets weird because it's kind of hard to pull that off because there's things that can disengage it, like Emerald Wind, like Void Prison Maw. But it's something that's definitely potentially on the table. But as it stands, like you said, Rhaegar not really.
Yeah, I think he's more viable than Muradin or Diablo are in terms of warriors.
Rhaegar?
Yeah.
Okay, well, with the change, with Healing Ward being comparatively, with Healing Ward being back on, I'd put him on the slot of Muradin.
Really?
Yeah, right even, but more viable than Diablo, yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, as a draft here, we actually do see we have Soldier playing Arthas, and we have the Kerrigan of Glaurung, as Kerrigan was not banned out.
That is the classic July 2014 Kerrigan Arthas Roam combo with the double Envenom. You have the double roots there. If they so choose, they can get very aggressive early game.
Imagine Thrall thrown into this just for like.
No, that's too scary. I can't. I don't want to think about that. I want to be able to sleep tonight, please.
They do, in fact, want to have a little bit of range presence. They do have Tassadar, of course, and they still need to pick up a support. With Brightwing being the early pick support, it doesn't really matter. It'll likely be their last choice, whether it's Uther or Malfurion.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Because Brightwing. Not only is she really strong, but in Cursed Hollow, this is definitely the map where Brightwing stands out the most because you can soak lanes a little bit longer, phase shift when you want to at that last moment, and that's really weird, Corey.
Yeah, that's incredibly strange. If you were to ask any Hammer player, what's Hammer's worst map, they're gonna say, probably Cursed Hollow, maybe Blackheart's Bay, one of those two, and it's very weird. Also, they didn't really secure any kind of tank role.
Yeah, not yet.
Nothing yet. So that's. I mean, at this point, SMG can all but guarantee that their last pick is going to be. What are you clapping?
I'm clapping at Tyrande, my friend.
Oh wow! What is this?
Hunter's Mark on anything that gets locked down by the Kerrigan and Arthas. That target is just going to die instantaneously. The 25% additional damage received is just going to burn through things. The vision you get from Shadowstalk and the Hedwig flying across the map, delivering all of the packages.
All the packages. Wow. This is a weird.
This is a cool game. This is the new meta. It's so kind of shook up and different. We're seeing heroes that haven't been changed at all come and be more played, and it's what? ETC.
Okay, you talked about it before. Some of the teams have been messing around with ETC.
Okay, I mean, now the question is, what are the interrupts? Well, the interrupts are Kerrigan and Uther, and ETC's strength is Mosh Pit, the dance. When ETC makes anyone within his dance pit, his mosh pit, they're forced into a dance animation and they are vulnerable. just looking at the rosters here now, actually I take it back. Lunar Flare is also a Nether Stun available, so there's a lot of answers to the dance. But do we see stage dive?
I don't even know what to expect at this point. ETC. When was the last time we saw ETC played in a competitive match? Have we ever seen it?
Many ages ago. It's been a bit of time, Corey. We're in for a treat here, guys.
Yeah.
Buckle your seatbelt because we're in for a ride.
Hey, you know what though? I will say overall, I really like this because that game, the first game, it was kind of a stomp. I'll be honest with you. SMG looked really good.
Yep.
Looked very strong. They're throwing something weird at him. I like it. Maybe SMG is not quite sure how to respond to this. I mean, it's ETC is not really highly picked in the meta for a reason. It is fairly easy to zone out that dance, especially when you consider things like Lunar Flare, extra range on Lunar Flare, Arthas. What's his name? What's that? Uther. There you go.
Uther, yeah, that guy. The old guy with the beard.
That guy with the beard.
Steve.
Oh wow. Okay, let's introduce these teams here for the blue team. We have SMG. Dreadnought will be playing Uther. KO is going to be on Tassadar. Soldier will be playing Arthas this game. Arthlon on Tyrande. And Glaurung on Kerrigan.
Oh, the little bat.
Yep.
Oh, look at this. The master skin? Actually, that's not the master skin.
That's
not at all.
That is the new Tassadar.
That's dog face.
They made some visual updates to the bat skin, so if you look for the spikes, you can see some cool little graveyard-looking things poke out.
Nice.
Let's talk about that other team, Jake.
Yeah, let's do that. Icon is going to be playing Brightwing. We have Pickles here playing Zeratul this game. Hammer played by Bims. Vala by Wargreymon. And ETC played by Poom himself. Rocking that lovely skin. Look at the hair on that guy. I don't even know what to think about ETC. And it's going to be interesting to talk about his
Let's theory craft what his presence is going to look like on the team. What are some of the combos that you can set up here? I think there's a very good chance that we're going to see Strafe. It'd be crazy just because, I mean, if you do manage to land that really, really nice dance, of course,
yeah,
then
that's a great point.
Mosh Pit. Yeah, you're going to be, you want the damage output, you need it. So you're going to see Napalm, full auto attack build coming out of Hammer there. And perhaps we'll see the Void Prison used to set up for it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if ETC is standing inside of it, he can't activate it, but he could stand just outside. If the positioning is right,
dive in,
then
dash forward,
dive in.
Oh, the blink there is used from Pickles to get out of the Lunar Flare from Tyrande. Nicely done in the top lane. Dread just getting pressured here by both Poom and Bims. It's gonna be a hard lane for him to hold on his own, but of course we have the rotations available from Glaurung and Soldier.
Right. So there's certainly a lot of opportunities to set up for the Mosh Pit, but do they have enough damage to capitalize on it? That's the other question. So basically, when you take Zeratul for the Void Prison to set up for it, he doesn't really have any ranged DPS or AoE, right? So, is it actually worth that trade-off? You almost can kind of guarantee some form of setup, but it might get interrupted. It's, gosh, so crazy. I'm trying to just, run through all the scenarios that they might be using to set up for this Mosh Pit, and then we're talking about all this, and they're just going to run stage dive. And
I don't think they will,
no.
But I mean, it'll be interesting either way. Now, Arth is going to be attacked here by Pickles. Polymorph goes down. It's a pretty scary pair, and he's going to be just fine in the end. Another thing that we have to think about is actually Emerald Wind, Void Prism, and the dance, the Mosh Pit, because you can, in theory, you can Emerald Wind people into
into a wall or something.
You can push them into the Mosh Pit. Yep. So it's kind of hard to set that up.
So hard.
But
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but it is something that does exist, and that is on the table here. A lot of aggression here. The Hunter's Mark is used. If you throw the Lunar Flare up as Tyrande, and then you apply the Hunter's Mark as the arrow is going up and then back down, and you get that guaranteed bonus damage and stuff there. You see how quickly his health pool went down, forcing him to tap the well, even though he has a Brightwing. First tribute of the game. Yep,
it's following up top lane. So we will see what each team does to rotate at this, and then after that we will talk about some of the talents, because there's a fair bit to talk about, but I'm curious to see what each team decides to do to rotate. It looks like they are leaving Tyrande and Brightwing bottom. That's going to give a bit of an advantage to Wildfire, because of course Brightwing can phase shift up into this fight whenever she so chooses.
Oh, but Glaurung is getting so low. He's out of position here. We see the shielding going down. We see the heals go down. Pickles is actually going to fall if the Brightwing heal does not take enough, and it does not. 2 kills as Glaurung was super low. Dread kept him alive. The shielding from KO and Dreadnought able to keep him alive there, and it turns into what looked like a really great start for Wildfire.
Sure.
Because it was you know, at their
Yeah, I
advantage
think
at
that
start.
the rotation up from Brightwing was just a little bit too late. I'm not sure if she had the protective shield off cooldown, but that would have probably allowed Zeratul to survive that situation. So they didn't have Arthlon there, but they were still able to secure three kills and the tribute. So nicely done.
Oh.
Wow, just being obnoxious,
Oh my
Arthlon
gosh.
is.
Just delivering mail. I mean, just sending him his letters saying, "Hey, look, you forgot this." And nice little blink out there by Pickles with Brightwing phase shifting back. Arthlon does in fact have to fall
A little
back.
scary here.
Singularity Spike, Polymorph.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of something you got to worry about.
All right, let's talk about some of these builds. Let's bring that up. So, no cooldown reduction on Tyranda's Owl. Typically, if you see the Pierce at level 1 or level 4, you're going to see the cooldown reduction so that every hero hit. So in this case, we're actually seeing the increased sustain. You're going to have a lot of healing on this team.
Wow, Battle Momentum is actually very, very unique as well. This is a different style Tyrande than I've actually ever seen.
So you're going to be getting the auto. So I think this is a heavy stun style Tyrande.
Yeah, it's
what you're going to be looking at is, you know, you have the, but why not go cooldown reduction if you're going to go for? I guess they feel
Battle
like
Momentum
the
is
overlap
is guaranteed though.
Right? Yeah,
you think about when you get Empower. That's the reduction at level 4. That's something that if you miss, you don't get it. Battle Momentum is guaranteed by auto attacking.
Right. Yeah.
So just by laning, you have that guaranteed reduction, and I really like the idea behind it. Oh my goodness, the pairing was there, but just a little bit late. And if the combo had landed, Pickles would have been absolutely demolished. And they're going for the first boss of the game here. SMG is looking really good. They're going to be hitting 10 in just a moment. But
Shadow Stock, or are we going to see Starfall?
It's going to be. You know what?
I was thinking about this myself. Like,
I think we'll see Starfall.
Yeah,
I actually do.
Especially with the battle. There's a fairly high cooldown on Starfall there, but you can do a lot to reduce that. So we'll have to see.
Starfall. There it is.
There it is. So that's also sort of a counter to dance. So if they do happen to land a good dance, and for whatever reason the stun isn't there, Starfall also sort of dissuades the other team from going into that situation.
Maelstrom, Starfall, Archon, Divine Storm, so much AoE damage available right there. Pickles is very low. Dreadnought gets flooded at the last second. Throws in Divine Storm, Starfall. We're seeing all the AoE here. 2 members down, 3 members down instantaneously. A Dragonite Soul and Bims is going to get comboed and blown up. Wow.
That was a very snap call from Dreadnought there to go in and throw down that Divine Storm. He knew that the rest of his team was following him up, but was he, did he buy enough time? Yes, he did. And it was very nicely executed from SMG there. They were able to steal that Golem away from Wildfire, and that puts them at a massive deficit. They're down 3 tributes. That gives them the curse, which means that none of the defensive towers will fire any shots off, and their minions will all have 1 HP.
With 2 golems on the map.
With 2 golems on the map, so you can imagine the push here is going to be ridiculous. They will take all 3 forts, and they will probably get a keep out of this. They're going to have a massive level advantage after the end of this curse push here.
The map is literally blue everywhere except for that one giant camp in the bottom lane that was just picked up by Brightwing's Pride.
They basically need a 5-man mosh pit here to save one of their keeps.
Now, looking at the perks, we do have Mosh Pit, Void Prism, Rain of Vengeance, Emerald Wind, and Napalm Strike. There's the Void Prism. He's setting up for the Mosh Pit.
Yep.
Does he get it? He steps in, uses it with Rain of Vengeance. Emerald Wind pushes him out of it, though. He got disrupted right away, so it wouldn't have mattered, but 2 kills go down. Pickle's going to fall as well. Divine Storm there just for that insurance policy. And I don't know how to put this lightly, but they're actually just obliterating Wildfire right now.
Yeah. I mean, how are you ever going to get that mosh pit? Like, it was very obvious that that's what ETC was trying to set up for, even with the Void Prison there. So the issue becomes Tyrande is actually just going to sit in the back line, not anywhere near a situation where she could get Void Prison. And as soon as that mosh pit goes down, you're just going to get Lunar Flared. So, but the thing, it wasn't even a counter pick in this situation, though. ETC was picked up after Tyrande was.
Yeah, I really don't know what to say on that regard, because Tyranda's like a weird pick on any map but this, and just looking at the style again, it's a really cool build. Actually going for Rewind, Starfall, Battle Momentum, I think that's the Lunar Flare range and width increase at level 16. And excuse me, because Tyranda's actually a pretty rare pick. But yeah, it's going to be cool. It already is cool.
Yeah, I think that the Lunar Flare is at 13. That's the extra
is?
range. Yeah, the 16 is something you typically see, the Sentinel width increase.
The increased width and range.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
But yeah, it's been an interesting game so far. So two hero picks that we almost never see. That of course being Tyrande and ETC. So they didn't actually, did they? Yeah, they didn't actually clean up one of the keeps. So I was a bit surprised to see that, even with the amount of kills that they picked up. I think they're pretty close, and it's, you know, there's no way to argue that this is all SMG. We're 10 kills to 0. Whatever Wildfire's plan was going into this game, they haven't been able to execute it at all. So it's going to come down to how do we get that dance off that includes Tyrande in it. And that's going to be really difficult. It's almost, putting a lot of pressure on the Zeratul.
It's almost impossible.
It puts a ton of pressure on the Zeratul player to basically land the sickest Void Prison of his life.
Because Tyrande is typically a hero that's so far out of the battle. Like the traditional style we see, at least. Now, this isn't that traditional Tyrande because it's not in power. It's not all about the W. It's kind of got the auto attack in there. So yeah, Arthlon wants to get his auto attacks off, but this keep is gonna fall here, push him safely.
Could do it. That's not gonna be enough. And you can see Arthlon is backing up immediately, throws down that Starfire. ETC gets anywhere near. Oh.
Yeah, they tried to go in. They had 2 members out of the equation. It didn't matter at all. Immediately throws down the dance, but it doesn't matter. 4 members down. Only Wargreymon survives. That's going to be game. They're actually just going to walk right into the core and end it right here. SMG just looking way too powerful. Even with an unorthodox pick of Tyrande, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that was... I mean, Tyrande put in work that game. I cannot argue that. That Starfall.
Top hero damage.
Top hero damage for the game. Yeah, they executed all that. It was flawless. I mean, you could see the way that the spacing was working out. As soon as they saw that Wildfire wanted to engage, you just see Arthlon just walking away. How do you catch up to that? I mean, you saw the Zeratul getting incredibly aggressive, trying to chase her down, but it just wasn't enough. There was too much support. You didn't catch enough people inside that Void Prison. And at that point, you just have to say, oh, you know, shucks, let's back up. No, you can't actually back up because it's a 120-second cooldown on that Void Prison, and you're about to die. Your whole team is, because they're pushing down on your core. You had to make or break for that one Void Prism to hit, you know, 4 members of the team that included Uther, Kerrigan, and Tyrande. And if you don't hit all 3 of them in one Void Prism, get the dance, and then somehow have enough AoE damage to capitalize on that dance and kill them, it was just an incredibly risky strategy overall. And I'm just not sure I agree with the ETC pickup after Tyrande and Uther.
But that's the weird thing with the current state of tanks is, what do you do? And I think ETC, I mean, Poom's kind of been a guy that always likes to do weird stuff.
That's true.
He's a guy that runs Diablo and when there's other good tanks, when Chen's even in the rotation.
Right.
And but
I appreciate the
it's cool
creativity there.
It's cool.
I think it's something that could work. I'm just not so sure it was going to fit against the enemy team's composition in this situation.
But just like you said, all the stuns available. I mean, 2 out of Uther, 2 out of Kerrigan. The potential to have the Tyrande so far out of the battle to still stun you too.
Cleanse.
It's cleanse. It's like there's
cleanse someone to walk in. I mean, Uther could cleanse himself, walk in, and stun. It's like,
yeah, there's so many things there to disrupt the dance, and like we said,
but
that whole comp was based on getting a sick dance.
Yeah, and just never seemed to pan out. Of course, as you guys saw, there were 2 opportunities there, but both of them just never ended up working out for him. But well played to SMG there. They looked super crisp, very, very solid. Yep. And I think we're going to go to a quick commercial break here, and we're going to update you guys in a little bit as to what will be the next game casted.
We'll be back in just a minute, guys.